Hey everyone, Pessmore here, and welcome to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are a lot of, gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me. No matter what the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Sure. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yeah? A defense attorney should never believe their client. Defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. Which one? But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. I believe I see more differences, but okay. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Why? Why? Don't screw this up, mate. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Don't say that backwards. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in court since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. An opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor, Lana Sky, has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot and your car. Wow! He's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. Okay. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. Isn't caviar like a rich person's food? The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Oh, the witness states her name and profession. Ah, and you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? What, do you just, like, dip your fingers into the rice until there's, like, fingerprints in there? Because I'll have 10 of those. It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, you know, lunch is the most important meal of the day. Okay, that might not be true, but you know, it's just a theory. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar! It's so tasty it hurts! I don't think the devs ate caviar. Okay. I mean, I haven't either, but I don't think it's that tasty. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. Why? Why? What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name. Profession. Now. Me. Name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up! Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said in court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. So she's an professional, I guess. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Star was a detective? Aha! I know who you are! Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. How old is she? Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star. Just who is she? I might have the court's attention. If I might have the court's attention over here. Well, at least she's not hard to deal with. But she's making me hard. What? The parking lot is at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's space, correct? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with a knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Witness, did you see the moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. This seems rather cut and dry, huh? Well, Mr. Wright? Can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. Wait, are they talking about me? Yes. Okay, I didn't read the other one. I believe you did. Good job. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. I'm still upset about that. Ouch. But I said something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointed tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. Who says things like that? So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Okay. Let's dance. How would you see this coming? How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. Not wrong. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing of a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Speak up. Can't hear you. Bitch. Miss Starr, do you have something against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by these prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know, and my testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. This boyfriend. He's the detective? Ow. Not that boyfriend, the security guard. Bro, how many boyfriends does she have? Actually, I don't want to know. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes. This boyfriend, that boyfriend, the other boyfriend. God damn. How many daddy issues do you have? Don't answer that. I have a feeling I have a idea. Can to join? Yes. Wait, what? Then yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. Applicants? I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Fair enough. Note to self. The judge had to think before replying. I mean, I don't blame him. The security guard room is in the lot in Block A. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I park in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps it was... Oh. I already read that, yeah. You sensed something. So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like how you would say, oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. Is that a good or bad thing? I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, Wasn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A what? A pale white cheese. Not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. You should know experience on the streets. But I must say that it must be hard, yellow, and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. God damn. What did he do to you? In any case, there, in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it is her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms, ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, bitch. Huh? Bitch? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me, what you gonna do, huh? I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believed I heard that tagline somewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may have relegated to the lowly position of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. Why? Why are they honed? A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. Okay, keep your damn lunchboxes. I suppose that's more exciting than hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph now? You think I show it to you? A prosecutor. Think, Edgeworth, think. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Wait, why did I say it like that? Photography. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Angel Sky. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Nah, yeah, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg, I mean a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would be a better metaphor. So, the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it work. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. Well, what do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that! Oh, wait, that was right? Okay. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife? As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure there's a fine lunch. But isn't it odd? Look at this photo. This is the photo you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? That is not the reason why I picked the photo, but okay. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection! That had to be the weakest objection ever, bitch. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. Objection! And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photo. Ah, yes. It's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, bitch, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you sure you're just gonna stand there and take this kind of abuse? No, you got a better idea? Okay. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said about her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. Yeah, looks like that frickin' salmon swirl lunch is shit. That's it. If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering a jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understand. I'm not sure I understood, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves, made of thin rubber most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Okay. The gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves? Like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber. They were rubber gloves, the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, She came to do a murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Except everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Star. Goodbye. She's got them thinking it was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial is over. Got to think of a way to show this isn't premeditated. Okay, I know. Huh. It was the knife, huh? Okay. That took way too long, but okay. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is mine. What's with this case? Okay, yeah. Mommy! What's coming up with Mommy? The defense has a request. We ask the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated Lana Sky planned this murder, and that she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Haha, gotcha, bitch. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, don't forget the weapon. Should he really be saying that? I mean, I guess he'll get more cases in the end. Okay, order! Great. The tide's turned in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister is as good as free. Not yet. Right. Wrong. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. And after this, the lunch you'll be eating is a knuckle sandwich. I'm sick of your shit. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. The prosecution could care less if it was a premeditated murder or not. The only one who seems to care is the lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Sky, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know just as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned! If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Okay then. Lana Sky intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive the human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Ah! Gotcha, bitch. I already know which statement is wrong. Because I read the autistic report like 10 times. For some reason. I mean, I forgot it already, but, you know. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? Yes. In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Let's see what you gotta say. You said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie. I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she was about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again. Rookie. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like putting a bun out of the oven half-baked. Something's half-baked here, alright, and it's you. Try not to confuse the defense witness. He's a dumbass. Now, why do you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim? Her actions speak for themselves. Edgeworth, you say I'm dumb, but aren't you forgetting, you almost went to jail? Are we forgetting that? You have no proof that Miss Sky called in there. You have no proof that she didn't. Fuck. Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts? There is no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Sky's phone. She might have written him a letter. Come on, you gotta try public phone first at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness? Why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day? What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge. Rookie, I have a lunchbox here. Now what's inside? How am I supposed to know? See? We agree. There is a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree? You know you had me until you said pretzels. I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. This judge isn't very good with metaphors. Who is, at this point? The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple. A human machine. That's a contradiction. Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, idiot? Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's sighs smell like citrus fruit. How did you smell it from here? He's like 10 feet away. Or is it 10 meters? I don't know. Okay. You say again and again. How many times? We often say chop chop, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How come she's getting mad at me? Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that. Or maybe 31 times. Leave it at that? This is a murder case. Mr. Wright? You should speak up if you have an objection, you know. Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we first met. Challenging her abilities as a detective really sets her off. The short wick burns the fastest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Haha, you fucked up. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. Whose side are you on? What a hunk! He's my hero! Really? What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness. You've got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. Focus! I could always believe that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify! Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Okay. Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The prosecutor always wears one around her neck, so she could be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. This guy was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't it odd you mistook it for a splattered... for blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright? Now's our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Okay. Yeah. Ha 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 ha! Gotcha, bitch! Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. Whose side are you on? Bro! You're doing your job and mine! Come on! And you're insulting me! Oh well, Phoenix. You're insulting Phoenix as well. Why? And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly dumb. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Whew. Now we see why you wear red, Edgeworth, because you can really dish out the burns. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? More like a broken heart. But that was a scarf! No, something red. Really? Really? Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude. Back to business. But what? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. Saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember something accurately at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. Being? The part where your sister stabs the victim. The next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Oh shit. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught up to her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. And yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's why you had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made it to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. You are quite determined about the scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. What are you? A frickin' TV character? A movie star? What are you? Why are you speaking like that? That wasn't a very good metaphor, first of all. A cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. Come at me, bitch. No thanks. Fine. Pussy out. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. Care to enlighten me who isn't? The chief prosecutor tried to resist. Oh. Okay. But her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hand aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman, rawr. Is this a DC reference or something? Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. So where is this partition on the floor plans? Sure, she means the wall next to the car? That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. Do it. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from... here. That will make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yeah, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing! The cover queen lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gone to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. How did Miss Sky not get away? Ah. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in the testimony. Cheeky bitch. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just one word. So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone? Indeed. The emergency phone was out of order that day. Imagine having an emergency on that day. Okay, I'm pretty sure Detective Goodman doesn't have to imagine, but... Okay. But I mean, like... never mind. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen close, bitches. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. And then I boldly grabbed her arm. She looks like Mitsuru from Persona 3. Like, you know, the game Persona 4 Arena and Persona 4 Arena Ultimax? That's like the game that comes after Persona 4. So the Persona 3 characters appear in that game as well. Like, older, of course. Time goes on. And Mitsuru has an outfit like that. I'm just saying. I don't know if I read this, but whatever. The chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? She made to escape. Could you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pâté of foie gras. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Huh? She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum? There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime. But it's strange. What's that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? The other... Ah! The parking lot entrance. That's right. It doesn't make any sense she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent! More mysteries! I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. So Miss Sky tried to run. I'm sorry. My sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. But she didn't do it! You have to believe me! Haha, gotcha, bitch! Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you'd be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? He literally presented the evidence against you like 2 times, okay? The prosecutor should never do that, okay? Like if they start doing that, you're fucked, honestly. You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't see what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making the phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. The emergency phone was on the back of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Order. What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. Yeah. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you'll allow me to ask a question. So that's exactly what the witness has to lie about in court. This is where the counterattack begins. Can't afford to get this wrong. Yes. The witness lied about where she saw it. She tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What was significant about the fact? Nothing. Therefore, it'd be pointless for Miss Stark to lie about it. Pointless to lie. I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky use the phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. No. At least, let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we heard up until now points in one direction. Yes, the direction is so obvious, I'm saving. Place is here. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed, the security room is in the underground parking lot, is well positioned. It's built on the 2nd floor so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in Block A. The only place where she could have seen the crime, and the back of the petition, is there. I remember in your testimony you said you brought lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think the tables could be turned. Today, a man has gotten the better of Miss Angel Starr. Order! Order! Witness, what have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty. Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright? Doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did she lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree. But what? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, detective. Detective, right? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station, but she lied and said she saw it from B block. Must make a vital difference, but what could change? It changes the distance between her and the crime scene. My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plans, and it is quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take for her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now how long did that take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness? Yeah? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches have gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J sandwich that's fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Is that real? Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I find myself running toward the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. That's why I had to go through the visitors' car parking in B block. That's quite a detour. This probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. For 5 minutes? Damn. This changes things considerably. But it was the woman it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. Why that specifically? You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Is it though? It can't pierce things, and it's not good at scooping things. It's a jack of all trades and master of none, but it's not even good at what it's jacking at. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely, focus! Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something! Do I have any evidence to stop this? Objection! 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in the amount of time. If you like it al dente. From Devil May Cry. I I got lunchboxes that tie passed into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Ain't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Oh, damn. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant, and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid the Coffin Queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Oh, god damn it. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. But what's that? Is this another of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple-decker! Whatever. Whatever, man. Whatever. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her ass this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? You left a lot of things out. 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. The victim's and the other matched the defendant, Lana Sky. This shoe proves it. It's flawless. Decisive evidence. But what? There was blood found on that shoe? What kind of dumb gum shoe is that? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you, idiot. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed. Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. Like, in the same team, or throughout the day? In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Mr. Edgeworth, sure is celebrating, even though he's the prosecutor. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. So in other words, this is updated evidence. How does it feel, Edgeworth, to be on the other side of that? Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Nuh-uh. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Mr. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really? The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. I need to assure that the guilty is properly judged. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say, I wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. Yeah, that's what it takes to be a monster hunter. This, when the suspect is admitting she did it? But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let us get this over with. And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime. I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. So you brought it to the forensics department? If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by the forensics department. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective, and also the 3 boyfriends. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And the blood belonged to the victim? As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with the blood test. Blah, 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 blah. My brain. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie. Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types: A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from the blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just our figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all of the blood tests out there. Which means we can more or less narrow any samples of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gone DNA test results. What? Really? But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone's but Nana Sky's. Oh wait, what? So the victim's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish guts now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us. Okay, sure. This? I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't fuck with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed. There is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the blood on the bottom of his shoe? The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe was covered in blood. Then isn't it strange? Why weren't there any bloody footprints found at the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. This contradicts your claim about the shoe. The picture not only shows part of the floor. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, huh? Because we checked the scene and found nothing like that. Order. Order! Well, witness? Well, great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then, we have to ask, why wasn't there a footprint? Oh. Yeah, I wonder why. That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Wright, think! Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just gonna find any contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. The hell does that mean? But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that? I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently, you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason. You don't mean... Yes, she knocked it over for one reason. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. Huh? That ties up things quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to the murder. And after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why? That's a prosecutor's speciality. Erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? So when my sister's blood got on the shoe, well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. But Mr. Wright, do something, please. Okay. What can I do? Your sister has confessed and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. The court finds the defendant... Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you just say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait. Witness, don't tell me you had something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare me. Look at this. A photograph? I just had it in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in the photo! Yes, let me look at it after I save. Hey, it's clearly wet! Erasing the last trace of doubt, the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Here we go again. Right. Wet or not? Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not till the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time, I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection!
Your Honor, wait. What is it with your people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? No, obviously not. Whatever it is, can it wait? No. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photo. The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with the latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I have to go ahead with this. I suppose, since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Okay.
Take that!
The problem of the photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a minute, Edgeworth. Your Honor? You just said muffler. However, I see no traces of a muffler or a scarf of any kind in this photo. A muffler is also a part of the car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe. I see. I see. What's this suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does this have to do with the case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you already told us why this is important in this case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind, yes. Tell us why you think it's relevant to the case, okay?
Take that!
Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Muffler! Ugh. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of evidence is vital. Well, it seems we have to suspend the proceedings. I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Whew. Barely made it. But we made it, at least for now. There's court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry? Oh boy. This is the longest I've been in a trial. Oh god. The raw footage is 1 hour and 55 minutes because my dumbass just keeps getting things wrong. What can I say? I ain't that smart. Not really much to say. I mean, what? She's a bitch. That's it? That's it? No, really, that's it. She's a liar and a hypocrite. And she's made for the streets. That's it. She's against prosecutors, but she's a prostituter. That's all I gotta say. Okay, there's probably more, but whatever. I'm so tired, so much. Anyway. Yeah, I guess, I mean, all signs still point to, Lana being the murderer, but I guess we'll find out that, she wasn't. She was, doing something else. I don't know. I guess you'll see. I don't know. Maybe she was just at the crime scene and the guy just stabbed himself. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, with that being said, I guess it's time, I'm tired. With that being said, thank you so much for watching my playthrough of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. And if you like what you see, stay tuned and stay awesome. Good night.